for Ingram Micro. And today, thank you once again for joining. Today, we're going to be talking about the new MSA 2042. In August, HPE announced two new products, or a new product and an enhancement to the MSA range. And today we've got Alex Wilson, who's HPE Solution Architect, to talk to us about the new enhancements and features of the MSA 2042. Alex, if you're ready, are you okay to take over?
Yep. Thanks, Paul. Hi, everybody. As Paul mentioned, I'm Alex Wilson. I'm a solutions architect inside HPE, particularly focused on storage solutions and things like our hyperconverged technologies. So the focus for today is very much to give you a view of the MSA 2042 and where it sits within the MSA portfolio, as well as how it sits inside the wider, more entry storage portfolio inside HPE, and a little bit of how we compare with some of the competition as well. Okay, so back in August, we launched two new products within our entry portfolio. So we launched the brand new platform, the Store Virtual 3200, new entry into the Store Virtual family, and we've already had a session about that that's available as a recording to view. Today we're very much going to focus on the MSA 2042, so an update and an addition to the MSA family, so adding features like hybrid flash capability, and more of a performance-focused entry platform. So both of these products have now announced and are both shipping and have launched and are available. And HPE is the industry-leading provider of entry-level storage. So these two products really complement the range that we already have and the leadership that we show within this entry space. Okay, so to give you a quick view on some of the things that we're trying to achieve in this market, some of the key business challenges that we see system admins, IT admins within that entry space, that SMB type customer. So budget is always an issue. They're getting squeezed ever further. They're trying to do more with less. So trying to get more functionality, some more of that enterprise capability, but down at a much lower cost point. So that's what we're trying to deliver here. Time is also under increasing pressure as well. So typically there's a small number of people or a single person that needs to look after everything: servers, storage, networking, applications, etc. So need to try and make sure that we deliver platforms that are as simple to use, simple to manage, don't need a lot of looking after. And that's what we're trying to achieve here. We're also trying to focus a lot on investment protection and not only provide the ability to scale with the business as needed, but also retain some of that investment. So rather than treating storage as a disposable purchase where somebody buys it, runs it for a while, and then gets rid of that one, moves on to the next one, and the cycle starts again, we're trying to develop technologies that allow you to migrate and upgrade and retain a lot of that investment in time and capability and product there as well. Okay, so to talk about the MSA 2042, this is our leading entry storage platform for performance storage in this entry space. The 2042 now comes with some built-in flash technology, so gives us the way to accelerate applications, improve performance, and use our tiering capabilities to deliver that. So there's 800 gig of SSD capacity built in as standard with a choice on how to use that. We have our software functionality to provide automatic data tiering, very much real time. And I mean, kind of set and forget, you just let it handle where to move the data based on access at that particular time. And the 2042 now has an all-inclusive software suite, so all of the functionality is included as standard, so giving a lot of functionality as well as simple and easy management within the platform. We also include both local protection and remote replication as standard now. So both of those are included with the platform. And those are based on the same technology that we've been using across the MSA family for a number of years now. In terms of how we can grow and the flexibility that we provide, so we can start very small, we can scale with drives and drive enclosures as needed. We've also had the ability to move between generations of technology and move between different versions within the MSA family as well. So start on the smallest platform and change the controllers over if we need more performance and more scalability later on. So really retaining a lot of the investment in that technology as well. Okay. And to give you a view of what the MSA family now looks like, so we have the real entry starting point, the MSA 1040, so a dual control array, multiple different connection options, starting at a very low entry price. Apologies, all the pricing's in dollars, but hopefully that gives you an idea on how these compare, at least. Moving up the range, we've got the MSA 2040 with more functionality included as standard, the ability to expand further, and then the new MSA 2042 added into that family as well. So including things like SSD as standard, including all of the advanced data services, all of that software functionality as standard, and you've got the ability to decide how you want to deploy that included SSD, so whether you want to use it for caching or whether you want to use it as part of a tiered storage environment at that point. Okay. And just to give you a view in terms of software, so previously those different software features were individual licenses. We've made a few changes here. So obviously the MSA 1040 has the ability to have the advanced virtualization features added later on. So we have a software license to that. That remains the same. But in terms of software features, previously things like remote replication, a larger number of local snapshots, tiering were all individual licenses. We've now taken all of those licenses and bundled those up into a single pack, which is looking at the price of any one of those individual licenses. You now get all of that functionality within that same advanced data services suite pack. So significantly more cost effective at that point. And the MSA 2042 includes that software functionality as standard. So again, apologies for the dollar value, but hopefully it gives you a view in terms of comparison more than anything. But also here, hopefully you can see that if you were going to add any of that software functionality onto an MSA 2040, it makes sense to start at the 2042 already because you've got all of that software functionality included as standard. So very, very cost-effective bundle of that platform. Okay, if we take a look at a little bit more detail about the MSA 2040-2042 products. So we have two different controller options. We've got our converged controller with a mixture of fiber channel and iSCSI capabilities. We also have the SAS connectivity option here at 12 gig SAS host connection. We have the ability to support advanced functionality, so we can support things like data at rest encryption by using self-encrypting drives on the 2040. We can support up to 7 disk enclosures, so scale right the way up to 199 small form factor or 96 large form factor drives within the 2040-2042 series. We've got a lot of data services functionality with very much 3PAR-like functionality in terms of now virtualization, things like wide striping, etc. And we've now simplified that software suite, as we mentioned, so you have that single advanced data services suite for that advanced functionality as well. So just to give you a view of what that platform looks like. if we just take a quick look at the back, so this is a view of that converged SAN controller. So this gives you the option to use either Fibre Channel or iSCSI, and the personality, the connection option that you have is determined by which SFP modules you choose to use within this platform. So whether that's 8 gig or 16 gig Fibre Channel, or whether that's 1 gig or 10 gig iSCSI. It's the same controller. That personality is just determined by which of those SFPs you choose to use here. And obviously, on that controller, you've got your management port, you've got your expansion port for additional drive enclosures via SAS as well. If we take a quick look at the other controller options, so we also have SAS host connectivity. So we've got 4 12 gig SAS ports to connect a small number of hosts, typically up to 4 hosts directly into the array. So if we're looking at very low cost connectivity for a small number of servers, we also have SAS controllers available for that platform as well. Okay, and in terms of scale, so we can then scale that base enclosure. That base enclosure can use either large or small form factor drives as needed. We can then mix and match with other drive enclosures. They can be small form factor or large form factor as well. And those enclosures will be 25 drives for small form factor, 12 drives for large form factor. And we can mix between the two, but that gives us the capability to go up to 96 large form factor drives in total and over 700 terabytes worth of capacity if we're using 8 terabyte drives, or scale up to 199 small form factor drives and just under 400 terabytes worth of capacity with those 2 terabyte small form factor drives. So a lot of scalability within this platform to meet customers' existing requirements, as well as to be able to scale and grow as the business requirements change over time. Okay. And just to give you a view of how this compares with the 1040. So the 1040 has a fewer number of ports. It's just 2 ports per controller, but we've still got those options of 1 gig, 10 gig, 8 gig Fibre Channel, as well as the 12 gig SAS direct host connect option. This particular platform scales with an additional 3 drive enclosures. Again, you have the option to mix and match, but that gives you up to 48 large form factor or 99 small form factor drive configuration options. Here we have 64 local snapshots included as standard, with the more advanced software functionality being available as extra options. So if we want a larger number of snapshots, we can add that. If we want to add remote replication, we can do that. If we want to add on that virtualization functionality, then we can also provide that as well. And typically this platform has seen up to about a 50% performance improvement over the previous generation technology as well. So significant boost in performance there. Okay, and in terms of those advanced data services, the virtualization functionality that we have within the platform, here we just go through the different options we have and whether those are available or included on the different platforms. So as you can see from the table for the 1040, these are all optional features that we can add. The 2040 includes most of this functionality, but has some optional capability around things like performance tiering. And the MSA 2042 has access to all of this software functionality. So that functionality includes things like our thin technologies, so thin provisioning and reclamation to make sure we're being as efficient with capacity utilization as we can be. Thin rebuild, so making sure that if we have a drive failure, we only rebuild the actual data, we don't rebuild empty space. We have the option to use SSDs for read caching, so significantly increase the amount of cache we have available for read and significantly improve read performance there. We have our automated sublun auto tiering. So very much a very efficient algorithm, very much real time. We're moving our 4 meg pages around based on access, but you have the ability to set a level of control over what you want that tiering bias to be. So do you want to focus on archive tiering? So moving from enterprise drives down to midline drives? Do you want to focus that on performance tiering? So moving between SSD and enterprise SAS. And we also have the ability to assign a tier affinity. So suggest which tier is the best fit for a particular data volume and try to make sure that data sits on that particular tier. We have the ability to support things like a large pool, so multiple hundreds of terabytes now as a single pool of storage. And we can wide stripe across the drives within the pool. So previously, without this virtualization technology, you were limited to a single RAID set. But here now, when we create disk groups and RAID sets, we can stripe data volumes across all of those drives, so getting access to all of the performance. We've also made some changes, so you have the ability to now use a redirect on write snapshot technology, so improve performance and make that a much faster acting technology, so just using pointers rather than actually copying data around as needed. Okay. And in terms of the user interface, so very simple. It's been designed as something that people can just pick up and use and don't need to have training to use. So it's a web-based interface. You don't need to install anything. There is the option of a CLI as well if you need to automate tasks from there. But it's built around being very intuitive, the ability to hover over things, get more information, and also automatically try to populate things. As you start typing, it will select what it thinks you're trying to do, rather than having to make you fill in all the information. So trying to minimize the amount of work and also minimize any potential mistakes or issues there. So all built around simplicity for the user. Okay. So that was a little bit about the brand new 2042 and where it sits within the MSA portfolio. And I want to talk a little bit about positioning inside the HPE storage family and where we see that, as well as how we see that competing with other products out there. So the MSA 2042 is really our performance-focused entry storage platform. So built around being able to deliver something that's simple but affordable for the performance we're delivering, and a lot of flexibility as well. So that's the kind of key focus. But there are certain cases where there may be other products that are a better fit within the family. So if a customer's very much driven on price and needs a lower cost solution, a lower point of entry than the 2042 can reach, then that's particularly where we would look at that new Store Virtual 3200 platform that's got a lower entry-level starting point in terms of cost. So that MSA is very much, the 2042 is our performance entry storage platform, but if you're needing something significantly higher performance than maybe the 60 to 120,000 IOP range that we say for the MSA 2042, that's where we might be looking at a 3-PAR 8200, the entry point into our 3-PAR product family. So higher performance, lower latency, anything like that, or just further increased scale, then we might be looking at that 8200 there. For cases where the focus is very much around delivering virtualization and delivering it quickly, simply, and in an integrated fashion, then that's where we might look at our hyperconverged platforms, either our 250 or 380 based platforms there. And if there's a requirement for a unified architecture, so delivering file and block from the same platform, same interface, then again our 3PAR 8200 offers that file capability as well as block-based storage. Okay. In terms of workloads, so obviously virtualization, high performance virtualization requirements, great fit. Higher performing database requirements, SQL, Oracle, etc. Particular verticals, so high sequential performance, then could be the 2042 or even the 2040 if there isn't the requirement for SSDs because we're just streaming data to disk. We're not really looking for that high random performance. And again, if we're looking for that unified capability, then we may look at the 3PAR 8200 for that capability. Obviously, we can also add file services onto our MSA platforms using our StoreEasy NAS gateway technologies. Okay. Just finally want to give a little bit of information in terms of competing with some of the other platforms out there and how the MSA compares to some of those technologies. So we're going to talk about a few Dell and EMC technologies here. So one overriding view across all of these products is obviously with the merger of Dell EMC becoming Dell Technologies, their portfolio is going through a big rationalization. It's unsure exactly which products will actually survive and which ones won't. So MSA is very much a key part of HPE's storage strategy. So we know this platform is going to be around for a significant period of time. But a few other key features here. So the VNXE from EMC has no tiering capabilities. It only offers caching capabilities. It's at a higher price point than the entry level into the MSA family. So particularly when you add on the base unit and the storage processor together, it's significantly more expensive. We've got less flexibility around connectivity. And also we don't have the same options around RAID and being able to deliver large storage LUN sizes as needed. So got a lot more flexibility within the MSA platform there. If we take a look at another platform within the VNX range, the VNXE 3200. So again, the MSA is delivering higher performance. It's delivering higher scalability as well. So the VNXE can only go to 150 drives. We can go up to 199 here. Again, you've got less flexibility around connectivity on that platform as well. So no support for 16 gig fiber channel, no option to have that combo controller and choose your connectivity, and fewer options around RAID and protection there as well. And then finally, another platform that we see as a competitive platform, the Dell MD3000 series. So this again is significantly more expensive. And if you're looking for an increased amount of cache, that's an additional cost on top, whereas the MSA is delivering more cache, more performance at a lower starting point. The performance of the Dell platform is significantly limited, and to actually get access to a lot of that performance, you need additional software licenses, whereas the MSA can deliver that performance as standard. Plus, there's not a lot of flexibility to migrate or upgrade, whereas here, within the MSA family, we can start down at the 1040, move to the 2040, so we can start very low and scale up from there as we need to. So that was just a bit of information on how we compare with some of the key platforms that we see out in the market. So just to finish off, there's already been a number of webinars and tech talks that are recorded and are available for viewing. So there was an SMB-focused storage power hour tech talk on our entry storage platform options as well that are available to go back and review if you missed those. There's information now on the Partner Ready portal, so things like battle cards and call guides to walk you through the product capabilities. These platforms are now available in advance as well. And these platforms are all shipping now, so both the MSA 2042 and that Store Virtual 3200 are both available to ship right now. So at which point, I just wanted to say thank you very much for your time. I'm Alex Wilson from Hewlett Packard Enterprise, and just wanted to hand back to Paul to close off things.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you to all for joining this webinar. I'm pretty sure that you can all see the huge potential value these products have for your customers. And with that, what I would like to say is that if you have any opportunities or any questions or anything you want to know more about these products, please contact myself. Via email is probably better at paul.williams@ingrammicro.com. And then I can plug you into one of our 9 specialists or 5 pre-sales consultants that we have, and we can work with you on these opportunities. Also, if you want any further information that you can't get hold of, by all means, drop me a line and I will get that information to you. And with that, I would like to say thank you for attending this webinar, and thanks to Alex for giving us the overview, and have a great day. Thank you.